All right, and welcome back, everyone, to round 18 of Realm of Racing. Here, as the season is winding down, not many races left, and the championship battle is heating up still, with the top four drivers only separated by 24. David Shahood still our leader, and Tails right up on his tail. And with me, as always, my man Hunter. How we doing tonight? Maybe he is not with me tonight. Believe maybe Hunter's having a little bit of trouble.
Wow, my mic was muted, so that's my fault. But no, I can finally say that this is not one of my favorite tracks. This is definitely, yeah, no, it's just not a track I enjoy that much. But to give you guys an update on the driver standings, 175 points to David, 165 points for Tails, so only 10 points between the two teammates at the Alfa Romeo squad. Groovy Hobby right behind them at 161, Total Carney on 151, and Canadian on 141. So top four is separated by less than one race, really, and then Canadians right there to pounce if anybody makes a big mistake. So yeah, DNF could really affect your championship running at this point in the season. So these are pretty important times right now.
Critical moments for sure. As the season winds down, for sure. Now, I wasn't sure if you actually lagged out and were messing with the stream or not. That's why I was kind of just froze.
No, so
honestly,
I muted my mic while you were doing the intro, and I just completely forgot to unmute it. I was talking to myself for a solid, until you said that, like I was literally talking to myself. I was like, oh my god. Oh, Groovy gets a little bit squirrely. I can't tell if he's on his, I think he's might possibly pulled out of that lap. Yeah, he's going back into the pits. So not going to set a time on this time out, but let's see.
As you mentioned, that TC does have the provisional pole at the moment with the 131.8. Canadian right there on his heels, though, with the time 131.9. So pretty close between the top two.
And J-Mick right there as well, only about 4/10 back. So, I mean, J-Mick, we saw him get P2 last week once the penalties were all sorted. And, yeah, he might be on a bit of a better run of form, I'll say. And also Thunder in P5. Not too many guys, though, that have put in laps. A lot of guys seeming to have invalidated. I'm on board with David right now, and he has definitely invalidated. Most underrated, going back into the pits. Gelfie is out here. I think he is on a fast lap. On his, I need to pull up the tires, see if some of these guys are on several lap tires, because J-Mick did 2 laps. Gustavo did 2 laps on the mediums. Not Sir Vapor just slapped on a pair of mediums. And the Gelfie, I think, has just set the a purple middle sector.
So Gelfie on a bit of a flyer so far.
I'm mistaken, actually. It was a purple first sector. He's in the second sector now.
Got a little bit of traffic as he navigates around it. It's a little bit of the curb there, but keeps it tidy, though.
Yeah, it's
kind of... This turn right here is a tough one for me.
Yeah, the braking zone's very hard to point out. And it really messes you up for this long straight. If you mess up that that braking zone, you just lose time, and it feels like an eternity until you get to the next braking zone. Which is also this braking zone coming up, to me, is actually more difficult than the one that you pointed out. For like this one, I can never I'm always understeering, trying to get on the power too early. It's kind of a late apex, and it's just a weird, awkward corner. Let's see what Gelfie puts in. He goes P2, 131.8. So look at the Alpine boys. But
sitting tidy up top.
The Alfa Romeos might have something to say about that by the end of qualifying. Neither of them have set a lap. Tails is out on track. I'm going to go on board with him. It looks like he is on a fast lap. He's going into the banker now as we speak. And it just looks like he's sliding the car constantly on these mediums.
I mean, that corner can be fun, you know, little cambered and stuff, but yeah, it's like you mentioned though. This one right here, though, I would agree is a harder braking zone to get just right and hit this apex just nice.
Right, and yeah, he seems to have gone a little bit deep, but it didn't seem to slow him down too much. As Hayam KK just goes for pole, 131.798. And Tails only able to put it on P6 on the mediums, of course, 132.6. So he is about just under a second off the pace, which makes sense. He's about 9/10 and some change off. But, yeah, that makes sense where he's at now. Gelfie obviously going to go into the pits. I think Canadian might now be on a lap here. Definitely on the softs.
Yeah, DRS is open down the back straight here. See how he comes in here. Takes a lot of curb though, but hooks it up nice.
Yeah, and actually, ideally, you want to take some curb there. You can cut quite a bit of that curb, and if you can cut back on yourself nicely. Oh, the Williams is around behind the AlphaTauri, but he keeps it out of the wall, and Canadian goes for pole.
With you, because it is like you mentioned. It's like it's such a sharp turn, kind of awkward and stuff. So you kind of need to take some curb to get the right steering angle on it.
Right. It reminds me a lot of, there's two hairpins at Austin that it kind of reminds me of, but the curbing is so different, and you're probably going a lot faster here because it's at the end of that long straight.
True.
But, yeah, it's similar in that way, where if you can cut back on yourself and kind of cut a lot of that curb, it does seem to help you a lot, as long as you aren't too cautious on the throttle. I know sometimes when I get on curbs or I'm attacking curbs, I get a little bit cautious on the throttle, and sometimes it ends up just not helping you whatsoever. So
yeah,
it can be a double-edged sword.
When in doubt, throttle out, and it really does. Not always, but obviously, but sometimes it really does save the car, though.
No,
looks like Vapor's coming around
with Vapor
now
as well.
Oh, no, coming straight into the pits.
He was blinking, so I was kind of confused why he was using the slipstream. I was like, he's blinking, so I kind of thought, yeah, he wasn't going to put in a time. But obviously, you know, we forgot to mention before we went live. Before we went live, Tito did DNF, so he will most likely be starting in the back, unless, you know, these four or five guys can't put in a lap. Both the Williams boys struggling right now.
I can't. I think David is on a fast lap right now.
Right. So is Groovy as well.
Okay.
But David is. I'll keep on board with Groovy. You can keep on board with David. Groovy's about to pass the finish line now, and then I'll hop on board with David. Oh nope. Groovy goes into the pits again.
So David didn't feel good.
David might have just set a purple sector in sector 2.
Yeah, he hooked it up pretty nice there.
On the mediums as well.
He was pushing it to the limit. He was using all of the track. I will say that. That is for sure.
See where he spots his braking. Takes a tiny bit of curb, just kisses it a little bit. Gets on the power nicely, but it looks like he probably had some margin there. Taking the last corner now. Gets the DRS. Let's see what he's able to put in. He puts in a P6 just above his teammate. About 1/10.5 faster than his teammate, actually. And we've seen David several times start on these mediums and start about, yeah, P6 or P7. And it's gone well. And TC actually takes pole. He's your provisional pole with the 131.418, and that's only 2 1,000ths from Canadian. So Canadian might be able to come back out here and improve, but also maybe TC will be able to. It'll be pretty tough to get back to the pits in time. He'll have to really hustle it back. Because if you
But I
think
almost
about
think
it, it's about a 131 if you're going, you know, flat out. So, yeah, he's
it'll be
got to
tight.
hustle.
But I think you're right. I almost feel David prefers to start on the medium tires when he can, because he seems to stretch every bit of life out of them.
And yeah, it's such a huge advantage in this game, because if you can manage to just keep your nose clean and not get damage in that first stint, like, you are automatically you're going to make overtakes as long as you have some semblance of pace, you know. Like, you're gonna manage to overtake a couple of guys. So just off of purely that you're gonna be on softs when it's a lot harder. It's a lot easier to be on the softs when, you know, you're down in fuel. It's a lot later in the race. All these guys are on worn tires just trying to get to the end, and you're on, you know, the softest compound possible. And actually, Bio Hazard joins the session late. He didn't join the session in time when we were sending the invites out, but he does join late, so he will participate in the race, and he will start obviously in the back. But that's a good to see Bio at least make it to the race. But yeah, I'm on board with Hayam KK. I can't tell if he's on a fast lap or not. He seems to be pushing it pretty hard right now. Yeah, he's definitely on a fast lap right now. There's no reason to be pushing that hard. The Alpine, the Williams is kind of getting in the way
right
here.
In front of him here. Oh, and does he check up a little bit there?
I think Groovy now realizing. I don't know. I think he probably lost some time there in that banker.
I think he scrubbed a little bit of time trying to set it up, but which can happen. It's hard.
Didn't get helped by any slipstream or anything.
Yeah, like no. Which is why it's saying obviously Groovy staying out the way.
That lap. Definitely pulled out of that lap. I think he's going to prepare for another one. Yes, he is. Oh,
that's a big moment. And can he save the car here?
That's going to cost him. David's actually retired from the session. Was that on purpose, or I can't see his car? I think he's just comfortable. Pretty sure he's already in the pits.
Comfortable. P7. He might potentially lose a spot or two. We'll see.
And then Tails is on an out lap right now. He's about to start his lap, but he is on medium still. So it looks like both the Alpha Romeos, I should say, are going to commit to this medium strategy. J-Mix on his final out lap, and it looks like, yeah, Carney is not going to make it back out on the track.
Yeah, so we're about under a minute left to go now. Oh, a little bit of a lock up and slide there from J-Mix.
Yeah, let's see how he takes this. This should be flat out. Oh yeah, he is on. You're completely right. Let Gustavo off the track. See if Hayam KK is. I don't know if he obviously nearly spun starting his lap, so I don't know what the situation is with him. But as we stand right now, the Alpines are 1 and 3, and Canadian is the man that is splitting them. But Canadian has just started a fast lap on these fresh soft tires, and obviously TC cannot improve. He went on that track probably a little too late.
Yeah, big moment for a couple of these guys back here, trying to get to the line before the session ends, but
yeah, it's a little bit hectic right now. Let's
see Canadian does have a purple sector.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch J-Mick across the line and then go back on board. J-Mick locks up into the big braking zone after the long straight, going into the last corner now. Where will J-Mick end up? He doesn't improve, so he stays in P7. Nope. Vapor goes P8.
Oh, TC retake. Oh no, okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
KK stays in 4th. Thunder coming across the line now. What can he do on this final lap? He goes into P8.
Doesn't improve. P8.
And Tails is going to start the race in P11.
Wow, we got a race in the pit lanes here. Tails and a Red Bull here. Blood Gustavo.
It's a 5-place grid penalty for Tails.
Oh, and they touched doing it. They did have minor contact there. Oh, wow.
That's going to be major. So Tails will end up starting, and I believe P16 as Canadian takes pole with a 131.160. I don't believe anybody will be able to challenge that, but Hewlett might just be on a fast lap. I'm not too sure. But Groovy still back in P13, and he's invalidated again. And Azure just improves one spot, only able to go P13.
Yeah, so the Williams are going to have to start in the back.
And most underrated, not able to put in a time.
Yeah, I seen that coming. They both went into the pits almost at the same time, and neither one of them backed out. They were side by side going into the line and a little bit of contact, but I mean, it was very, very minor and stuff, but obviously enough the game recognizes any little touch.
Yeah, just one of those unlucky instances, but our grid is set. And look at this, LeJon Brames, the new addition to the league, and he will also be participating in Season 3. He puts it on P4, so the Alpha Tauri is 1 and 4, and the Alpines 2 and 3, and the Red Bulls 5 and 7. This is, you know, battle of the constructors right now. Hewlett in P6, J-Mick and Thunder for the McLarens P8 and 9, Natser Vapor in P10, the Alfa Romeos P11 and 12, the Williams P13 and 14, Routine, Lick, and P15, Tito, and obviously not putting in a time due to that DNF early in the session, P16, and most underrated P17.
Yeah, no, it should be a good one, even though not particularly a favorite track, but I mean, these boys will definitely make it exciting for us, though. They'll have some good racing out there.
One thing you can't say is that it's not possible to overtake on this track. It is possible. You have to be smart. You have to be sensible with your ERS because it's so easy to get, you know, a little bit too excited, as I think maybe the lobby is glitching right now. I kind of mentioned this with boys joining back, coming back to the session.
Yeah, we got 1 second remaining in the session here, and it has been a long 1 second.
So we'll see if
maybe a little bit of interstellar 1 second here.
We'll be a little bit patient, but we might need a restart here.
As Nikita Mazepin and Stroll and Carlos Sainz, Vamonos joins the lobby. The great drive by him at the end of Abu Dhabi. That was wonderful.
Yeah, I think I think during the Abu Dhabi race, I was screaming. Well, what was it? Who was Bottas racing to the line? Was it Ocon? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at Saudi Arabia.
No, it wasn't. No, I think it was at Abu Dhabi. No, he raced somebody to the line at Abu Dhabi. No, or was that Saudi?
Was that last race or the race before?
I
prior
swear
to that
was Abu Dhabi.
It could have been.
And I was like screaming at this. Maybe it was
right
Jeddah. I don't know. Either way, it was in the last two races.
No, I remember. Yeah, because even Ocon started punching his steering wheel. I kind of felt for the man, but.
So it does start. I don't know if we'll have some complications here.
Yeah, it does seem like the boys are just kind of endlessly... Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so we should be fine to get back underway. Yeah, no, the Alfa Romeos, we're used to seeing them still able to pop into the top 10, but I think we're just seeing a few guys come into form here late in the season. J-Mick, Thunder putting in a decent quali, Hewlett, Hyam, KK, LeJon Brames, Gelfie getting back into the mix, and obviously Total Carney also having much better luck in this qualifying session than previous. Yeah, it's looking much better for the boys.
Yeah, I'm sure he will definitely enjoy starting with not many cars in front of him this time, but yeah, no, like you're saying, a lot of guys are starting to hit their stride at the right moment here, and
think we will. I think we'll probably need to. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of bug
So
masters going on.
Bug masters for sure. So yeah, I think we'll have to restart.
We will overcome, though.
Let me actually. Okay. I have the grid.
Yeah, I'm actually still looking at it right now. I'm like frozen on it.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
So yeah, we're gonna restart.
It was like I clicked on to I was watching Blood Gustavo. That's why, if anything, bro, it's weird. They should have both got one. If anything, bro, it's kind of weird that he only got one. Like they weren't like even racing really. They were just like going, like the speed limit side by side. And then like right when they were coming to the line, they kind of touched, and then the other one went in front of him and shit. So it's. I was gonna say like in real life, there's no way you would be getting. They're not. They would be getting shit like. If anything, it would be like a 3 place max, and that would be, on some bullshit stewardship. But my opinion, he should get a 10 place, drop him to the back for that. Because it was kind of aggressive move. I'm just playing. We fucked up. You're like, bro, I removed your 5 place, but we gave you a 10 place instead. Oh shit, they still. Oh, I didn't even back out. Okay, what the fuck? There's like a bunch of them still in here. They're like about to race.